Hey guys, my name is Lil Labu. I am the Discord admin at the Option Seller. Today I'm excited to announce our brand new proprietary indicator, Scalp Confidence Pro by Dr. Oz Trades. If you are a type of trader who's scalping the NASDAQ or the S&P, especially 0TTE, then you've probably had this problem. You have a good trading setup, but you still lose money because you're not sure which indicator to follow, right? You have indicators like RSI, ADX, VWAP, MRC. These are all great, no problems with them, but there's no single indicator that's reliable on its own. So Dr. Oz Trade and our team collaborated to build a custom indicator that answers a simple question. Is a scalp statistically worth attempting right now? This indicator combines multiple different indicators all into one with different weight factors to output the following results. A confidence score from 0 to 100, the intended direction of the scalp, bullish or bearish, stop loss and take profit targets, and crucially, this indicator also has guardrails in place to avoid massive trend days or negative gamma environments, so you don't get steamrolled scalping against the trend. I've left a link to the indicator down below in the description if you would like to check it out. In this video, I'm going to go over who this indicator is intended for, its core features, I'm going to walk through some examples, and then finally I'm going to show you how to customize settings to your preferred trading style. Time code is down below if you'd like to skip around. So, who is this indicator for? Trading can definitely be a roller coaster sometimes. As of this recording, February 5th, 2026, markets have been especially unpredictable lately. But the Scalp Confidence Pro indicator is really ideal for chaotic environments like this because it produces a single reliable score and reduces your trading fatigue when you're looking at a crowded chart. This indicator was originally designed for intraday NDX and SPX scalps on a 2-minute chart for an average of 5 to 20-minute holding period. It triggers when price action is likely to revert back to either the 9 or the 20 EMA, VWAP, or the MRC, which stands for mean reversion channel. It's an ideal indicator for anyone who's scalping options, futures, or equities on indexes. But it can also be used on many charts as well, which we'll get into later in the video. But first, I just want to make a quick disclaimer, guys. No indicator is perfect. And this one is definitely no different. Anyone claiming anything else is just plain lying. As you'll see, this is definitely not a buy and sell indicator. This is an indicator built to help support your trading decisions. Now, with that being said, though, my team and I have been developing and repeatedly testing this indicator for many months, and we're having amazing success. When you're first granted access to the indicator, in TradingView, go to Indicators, Invite Only, and then click on Scalp Confidence Pro by Dr. Oz Trades, the author of this indicator. It will then be automatically added to your chart. To adjust any settings, go to the top left and click this arrow, Show Indicator Legend. It'll then show the names of all the indicators you have. Go down to the bottom where you see Scalp Conf. To hide the indicator, press the eye-looking icon. You can adjust the settings by clicking the gear icon here. You can remove it by clicking the trash icon, and additional controls and settings can be found under the 3 little dots where it says more. So by default, this indicator comes with 3 parts: the dashboard, the oscillator, and the on-chart displays. Starting with the dashboard, at the very top is direction, showing you the intended scalping direction of the upcoming trade, and right below it is confidence score. So right now in this particular example, the scalping direction would be looking for a bullish trade, and the confidence score is 16.3, which is pretty low. The confidence score is basically a weighted blend of extension, exhaustion, and context. It measures the distance from the 9 EMA, VWAP deviations using standard deviation, distance from the mean reversion channel MRC, the median, and the bands. And also it measures how many key levels price action has gone through recently. Next you have HTF trend, which stands for higher time frame trend, and it's set to 5 minutes by default, but I have mine set to 10 minutes, and I'll show you how to change that later. This indicates the general trend of the underlying asset based on a 10-minute time frame. Typically, we want to take scalps against the trend, and in this case, on a 10-minute time frame, the trend is bearish. Therefore, we are looking for a bullish scalp opportunity. However, we don't want to take scalps when the trend is too strong, so that's what the next line is for. The trend day guardrails warning activates when ADX is elevated and VIX is rapidly increasing. This indicates a potential trend day and or a negative gamma day. In a negative gamma environment, reversion still can happen, but you don't want to size it like a normal range day. Therefore, this trend day guardrail is designed to apply a penalty to the confidence score so that the indicator triggers less. In addition, there's also a EMA stall penalty automatically applied to the confidence score whenever price is just chopping at the 9 EMA. This usually implies that price action has already done the move. Next up on the dashboard are price target recommendations for the scalp trade. You have take profit, typically the 9 EMA, stop loss, and risk to reward ratio. And finally, at the bottom of the dashboard is all targets, showing you the other potential take profit targets, how many points away, and their respective risk to reward ratios. At the bottom of the screen is the oscillator. This line shows you the confidence score at any given time. Anytime the confidence score rises to 45% or higher, the oscillator will turn yellow, as you can see here. And if you would like to overlay this scalping confidence oscillator on top of other oscillators like ADX, RSI, MACD, and so on, simply cursor over the indicator, go to 3 dots, hit more, move to, and then existing pane above or below, like so. Last but definitely not least here is the on-chart displays. These are the ones you're probably going to be using the most when you're scalping. Anytime the confidence score on the dashboard is over 45%, an on-chart label will also appear indicating the intended direction of the trade as well as its confidence score. So here you can see that the scalping direction is indicated as bearish on the dashboard, and you also get a red bear label on the chart pointing down. Confidence score is 49.2, and you also see that here. It says bear 49%. When an on-chart confidence label appears, it will also display an on-chart take profit and stop loss levels coinciding with the dashboard's recommendations. The stop loss is 12.5 points above the entry. Take profit is the 9 EMA, which is 56 points below the label. And you also notice on the dashboard is an MRC mean level, which is a more aggressive take profit level. The trend lines you see here on the chart are the following. The blue line is the 9 EMA. The thin yellow line is the 20 EMA. The thin orangish line is the 50 EMA. The thick red line is the 200 EMA. Purple line is VWAP. The thick yellow line is the MRC mean. The dotted green lines are 1 standard deviation of the MRC. And finally, the thin red lines are 2 standard deviations of the MRC. If you want to adjust any of these visual settings here, like for example, if you want to turn some of them on or off, simply click on the arrow so it points upwards and you see the name. Click on the gear icon for settings. Go to Style, scroll down a bit, and you'll see all the trend lines here. You can turn them on and off, just so you're also reminded what they are. And here, you can change them to thick lines, dash lines, dotted lines, whatever you would prefer. So let's go through an example of how we would actually use this indicator in practice. Right now, I'm looking at the chart for NASDAQ futures on a 2-minute chart, ticker symbol NQH 2026, and the date is Thursday, February 6th, 2026. Here we can see that the indicator triggers an on-chart label at 6:48 a.m. U.S. Pacific Standard Time when NQ is at 24,935 with a 49% bearish scalp confidence score label. In addition, we can also see that price action wick past VWAP and the 200 EMA. Trend lines like VWAP and the EMAs are typically great places to enter and exit a scalp trade. I also want to call attention to the take profit and stop loss lines. These are merely suggestions as you will ultimately have to decide your own risk appetite. At first, the stop loss is tight in case of a liquidation squeeze above the first MRC deviation. And the take profit line is at a conservative 9 EMA level, which is at 24,870 on NQ. And those levels are also reflected in the dashboard. And that's exactly what happened here, with a holding time of only a few minutes. And as we'll see, price action actually continues to drop. But it's important to note that all these take profit and stop loss levels are here to support your decisions. This is not a magic signal generator. It is a decision support tool that answers these 3 questions. Number 1, is price action extended enough to expect a reversion? Number 2, do we have exhaustion clues that point to a possibility that price action could revert? And number 3, is this scalp regime friendly? In other words, are you taking this trade in a balanced day under a positive gamma environment, or is this a trend day in a negative gamma environment? Ultimately, when you want to enter and exit the trade is up to you and your risk appetite. As the day progresses, the Scalping Confidence Pro calls out 2 more plays. Another bear scalp label at 50% at 8:30 a.m. when NQ is at 24,825 for a 100-point bear scalp, and then again at 11:18 a.m. with a bear confidence score of 53%, even higher this time, at 24,820. As usual, the indicator points out a conservative take profit price target at the 9 EMA. And ultimately, because we got such a high confidence score, that could build a thesis that you might want to hold on to this trade longer, which in this case ended up being very profitable, with NQ closing the trading session at roughly 24,425, which is almost a 400-point point move since the indicator label showed up on chart. But you might be wondering, can this indicator only apply to the NASDAQ and the S&P? And the answer to that is obviously no. It can be applied to virtually any ticker as long as there's enough reliable trading volume. In fact, actually, we've been using it a lot lately to scalp gold and copper futures. The same fundamental principles apply. Bearish indicator here and 2 bullish ones here, and those would have worked out quite nicely. Bitcoin, QQQ, silver futures, Nvidia. You get the point. And to wrap this tutorial up, I'm going to show you how to further customize this indicator so you can tailor it to your specific trading style and visual preferences. If you would prefer not to see the oscillator on your screen, hover your mouse around the scalping confidence indicator and click on the 2 arrows facing towards each other where it says collapse pane. This will hide the oscillator but still keep everything else present on screen. If you would like to adjust the dashboard, go to the settings again, click inputs, and then at the top here, you can turn the dashboard on and off, adjust the positioning and the size. Under factor display, you can choose how many factors you would like to show. All factors. This shows different RSI, ADX, and MRC levels. If you don't mind seeing all these details, this can be quite helpful. Importantly, where it says minimum confidence for a label, here you can adjust the minimum confidence score for the label to show up on the chart. I personally have mine set to 49, so only very high confidence scores can show up on the chart. However, you're welcome to adjust that if you would like more potential entries. Please be aware that this will reduce the indicator's accuracy. Scrolling to the bottom here where it says higher time frame trend, this is where you can adjust the trend day counter penalty. I personally have my HTF time frame set to 10 minutes and a counter penalty set to 15%. If you decrease this, the indicator label will show up more on chart and vice versa if you increase it. And that's it for this tutorial. So if you would like to try out this indicator, please click the link in the description. And as always, if you have any questions, drop a comment down below.